Hey, hey friends, this is Grace over here at the Comfy Nest here in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. I'm so happy to be with you here on Essential Stencil. I'm going to make sure that I'm live. I'm going to check here on my iPad to make sure the live is going through, and then we're going to get started. I am doing a project tonight. I call it an evergreen project. You guys probably have heard that term before, right? Evergreen, meaning you can use it year round. It is going to look very appropriate for Valentine's Day, mixed in with some words that we normally think of using in the fall during Thanksgiving. However, this piece I would consider evergreen, meaning you can keep it up all year long. It's not for fall, it's not for winter, it's not for summer, it's gonna be for everything. Hey Michelle, how are you? Hello Karen. Hello, hello. Am I late? I think I'm a few minutes late, you guys. I'm telling you. Hey Abby, I see you there, and Tammy. I'm telling you, like, never get nervous about being live. I never get nervous about the project necessarily. It's like giving you guys all the codes. The codes, making sure that you know where to go to get what you want, where to go to get the discounts. It's that stuff. It like stresses me to no end. So I was trying to type in and make sure that all that stuff went in there. Hey Dawn from Michigan. Hello Cindy. Hello, hello Beth. Hello, and Tammy. Thank you guys for being here. There's Nicole, Panzica in Missouri, and Deb is here from Washington. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for saying hello. Here's the set I'm going to use. Grateful, thankful, blessed. Okay, I don't know how many of you saw my live a couple of hours ago where I was prepping the board for this. Hello, Pat. You were there, and so was Kip. Hello. Thanks for coming back. I'm so glad you guys are here. If you guys have any inkling, willingness to share this, that would be great. Both Essential Stencil and I would appreciate that. It just really organically spreads our information, spreads the product out, gives everybody the discount codes so they can take advantage of them. Thank you, Cindy. She says you're late, but it's worth it. Thank you. Thank you for that. So if you're willing to do that, I would really appreciate it. Let me just make sure. I'm going to turn down the volume on my iPad. I'm going to turn that on. You know, I broadcast from my phone, which is up here. That's where I'm looking. And I have it up high so that you guys can see the project. It's a big project, so I needed to lift you up really high. Then on the bottom here, I have my iPad, which is where I want to see the comments from. But for about a month now, we can't see comments. But I can see that there's 164 people on here. I will be gifting away. I forgot to put that in the description. I'll be gifting away 3 sets of stencils to one of you. So make sure you let us know you're here by saying hello, because I will pull randomly from the names of people who are commenting. So here are the parts of my project, okay? Gonna be using this set. This is just called Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. It's one of the most popular sets. You can see mine is well used. I cleaned my stencils, and I don't know what I did to these. I cleaned them, but at some point I used some really dark gray paint, and it didn't come off. I don't know. I must have left them for too long or something. So I'm going to be using that set. I have a round board from Craft Deals. It's a 24-inch board. It's big. And I painted it a couple of hours ago on the Comfy Nest page. So if you want to see this finish, go to the Comfy Nest page and watch that. Let me show it to you. I love these palette boards. Okay, so I painted this a little while ago. All right. I went with 4 colors here. I used a white. I used a pink. So this was Debbie's DIY. I think it's called Swan White. I used pink, soft pink from Dixie Belle. I used black called Ink from Waverly. And I used Elephant Gray. I used those 4 colors to make this huge board. Okay, and this board is what I'm going to now stencil on. And I'm adding to the board this cute little heart. You guys had what? If you were on my, tell me if you were on my live earlier. Those of you, hey, Roxana from Washington. Deb says she was on there. Abby says she missed it. She had to work. It's okay, dear. You got to get your work done. Totally get it. Hey, Kim. Hey, Sherry. Thank you for sharing. And Liz is here. Rhonda's here from Arkansas. And there's Nancy and Sonia from Missouri. Hello, hello, ladies. Sherry from Florida. Okay. So some of you did see me paint this earlier. Hey, Janine in Minnesota. Hello, hello, friend. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Sherry says, we're getting bad weather tomorrow, so I get to stay home and stencil. Good for you. That's a good reason to stencil. Joanne's here from Tennessee. Beth says, oh my goodness, I love it. Isn't it beautiful? Thank you. I love this finish. I love painting this. I have so much fun doing this. And today on the Comfy Nest page, I painted it just a couple hours ago. I wanted it done before tonight so that tonight it won't take so long to do this project. I can just do the stenciling on it, focus on the stenciling and the tips for stenciling. But I did this board and I talked to you guys through how I do it. Like you saw me do it, I talked you through it. It's just like I do my online workshops tomorrow night through the Comfy Nest. We are painting this little snowman, this happy heart snowman. I use the same, I mean, it's just me. I'm the same personality, same kinds of level of detail when I teach. We're doing that tomorrow night on the Comfy Nest in a private group for the Comfy Nest. Anyone interested in that, just message me because if you have basic art supplies, you can do that with me tomorrow night and I can still get you in. It's only $20 for that class. I showed you all the techniques of how to do this today. You can go back and watch that on the Comfy Nest. We're going to stencil it today. So I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to finish this heart. We debated about the heart and I asked you guys what color should I use. Those of you who were there on the Comfy Nest page, this was the color I was going with. It's DIY, Debbie's DIY, and the name of it is Kissing Booth. It's got the cutest name ever, right? This is it. What I did was I took the white paintbrush I was already using and I just painted my heart with the white that I already had in it. It had a little bit of gray in it from doing, let me show you. I'll hold them next to each other because you'll be able to see now. So when I painted my heart, I painted it with this. You can see it's not the same color because here are all my paintbrushes that I already cleaned. The paintbrush that I used had some of the white swan in it. And I think it had a little bit of the elephant gray in it. And I didn't clean it. I just went right in and painted. And then I did add a little bit more white. So you're going to see little bitty streaks of white in there. It just gives a little, I call it variance. And it gives a little, for your eye, the person looking at it, a level of interest for the eye. Because it's not just plain pink. This color is Kissing Booth. It's like a really deep fuchsia pink. So I already painted that. And then I thought I'm going to muck it up. I call it mucking it up. I'm going to muck it up a little. And so I decided, I started it and I thought, no, I'm going to wait for you guys to come on with me. I'll muck it up with you so you can see what I do. A little continuation of what I did earlier with the big board. The board and the heart both came from Craft Deals, craftdeals.com. And I gave you in the description, I have given you all my code, my link. If you use my link, you'll get 10% off. It'll automatically apply it just like Essential Stencils. So the deal with Essential Stencils tonight, well, always the brand ambassadors, we each have our own landing page, our own code. We give you that code and normally on all of our, the things that you're ordering, you're going to get 10% off with my code, right? Hold on, guys. I'm struggling with my camera tonight. So normally you're going to get 10% off with my code. Essential Stencil, starting this week, they just added this other feature. So while we're on the live, during the live and until midnight tonight, if you order this stencil set, you'll get an extra 20% off because this is the one I'm using. So if you love this and you don't have it, or you love it and you need another set, if you're going to be doing some workshops and you want a few of these on hand so that people can share them, you're going to get this for 30% off. The regular 10% plus an extra 20 if you order it by midnight tonight, okay? Then you can order whatever else you want from the Essential Stencil website and still get the 10% off. So it's a really good deal, okay? Really good, very generous. As always, Essential Stencil, we love you. Okay, all my comments disappeared. Hold on, I'm trying to get them back. Where are you? They went away, you guys. What happened here? Holy buckets. I turned you around. There you go. Oh, phew, there they are. Hey, Vicky, she says she was there. I'm so glad. They do look cute. Thank you for that. All right, let me put you back down. Let's do this heart. I'm going to get this heart done. Oh, I'm trying so hard to get a good angle for you guys. I'm going to do some work with this heart just like I was doing with this. I like it to look a little mucked up, not so perfect. So I started to edge it out with some black, and then I thought, I better wait for you guys. So let me put all of these paintbrushes aside. I just need one of them. So let me get them put aside. I'm just going to use, I just washed these, so they're still kind of wet. Here's the paint that I was using earlier. Here's my black paint that I was using earlier in the gray, and it's drying up a little. It was a couple hours ago, but I can still get in there and grab some paint. It's just gonna work just fine. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's 250 people here. Let's see if we can hit 300. Wouldn't it be wild? Share, use that little share button. See if we can get 300 people on here. How funky and cool would that be? All right, here's my heart. All I do is I take, it's a little bit like stenciling. I put some paint on my brush and then I try to offload most of it so that I kind of have another, it's like a dry brush. And then I'm just gonna go on the edges. I call it mucking it up. I'm like putting some edge on here. Just, it's again about getting visual interest for your eye so it's not so plain and perfect. We don't want plain and perfect. We want it to be interesting. So I'm just gonna edge it out with this black, not perfect lines. I'm not going for perfection. You can see, pretty messy, right? Pretty messy, but it just adds a shadow to it. It's gonna make it stand out. This is going to sit on this palette board, and I don't want it to blend so much. Well, I'm getting a little bit of water there because my paintbrushes are still wet from earlier. So I'm drying it off on my blue used up rag that I used earlier, and then I'm just adding a little more paint, my black. See, I have a little spot there that I'm gonna try to work with here. I'm gonna make this point a little bit more prominent right here in a really like whimsical way. And then I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna darken up. So it's mainly pink, but you see, all right, this one was really thin. I was feeling like it needed more. So I'm adding a little bit more here, and it's a dry brush. So it's not a perfect line of paint. It's just like a dry brush. It's a dry brush. My brush is spilling more water out on me, so I don't want water, I want paint. I'm gonna come in with a little more paint here, and I'm just adding a little more. This is just to make it more interesting, you guys, so it's not so darn perfect. I'm adding more paint on my brush. I offload it just like I do with my stencil brushes. I'll be doing that here in a few minutes when we stencil the words on. So yeah, this, if you saw this, it's January, you're gonna think this is for Valentine's Day. I don't think so, not in my mind. You guys tell me. I think this is evergreen. Yes, it's close to Valentine's Day, so yes, I would agree. This would be appropriate for Valentine's Day. This is gonna go here in the corner. And then these words, just in this order, grateful, thankful, blessed, are gonna go on here with it. And because I love pink in my home, and I have a lot of black and white and gray. I have like very much an industrial farmhouse look in my home. I have a lot of like iron. I have iron pipe, and I have black, and I have wood elements. But I think this really adds a pop of color and like girliness. I live with, you guys, I live with 3 boys. All right, I got a hubby and 2 like preteen teenage sons. So I need some girliness in my life. They don't care. Excuse me. They don't care what colors I put on the wall. They really don't. Like, I think if we had no decorations on the walls, none of my boys would even like, they wouldn't even flinch by it. They wouldn't miss it, right? So they don't mind that there's pink and black on the wall. So I'm going to put it there because I love pink and we need some color. All of my walls are white and gray. All of my trim is white. We have some wood elements and lots of black. So I like to decorate with really bright pops of color. This pink and black and gray is perfect for Valentine's Day, but I think it can stay up year round. You tell me, do you think the same thing? Could this stick up all year round, right? I think so. Hey, from Kentucky, Debbie, hello, hello. So glad you guys are here. Hi, Jen in Garland, Texas. It gives it some depth. Erica, you're right. She says it gives it some depth. Oh, thank you. Nicole says she loves the color scheme. And Tammy and Mary. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for saying that. Yes, I think it gives it character too. All that, those extra lines, it just makes it look interesting to me. All right, so I really was struggling earlier. I'm just gonna glue this on. Somebody asked me earlier. I just use carpenter's glue to glue this on. I'll show you what I'll do later. But I needed to basically position, where am I gonna position this on the board so that I can figure out that my letters are gonna fit. I had this all mapped out perfectly earlier, and of course now, not so much. Now I gotta refigure it. So that's okay, because you'll see the way my method of working here. I've got the Grateful as close as I can to the top, and I have it a little bit skewed to the right. I have my lines, my palette lines going horizontally. I want Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed. And the Blessed, I'm going to skew down. This one's skewed up. This one's skewed down, if you notice, up, down. So that makes room for my heart to fit in perfectly right here. And the point of the heart, it's like a really pretty whimsical heart. The point of the heart is coming to the bottom of the E. Does that make sense? That's how it's gonna look. Now, last decision to make is what color to do my letters. What color should I do the letters? They're gonna be big. These are big, thick, chunky letters. I like them because they're big, thick, and chunky. They're not little, they're nice and thick. So we're gonna be able to see them no matter what. And I purposefully put, if you saw earlier, if you were on, or if you see it later, if you go back and watch on the Comfy Nest, I purposefully put the black paint on the very top and on the very bottom, and in the middle, I used the pinks, the white, and the gray, so that whatever letters I picked, they would sit fine on that and show well. So I still need to pick a pink color. I was debating white, debating black, and debating this pink. Kissing Booth. I really like this Kissing Booth. And the Kissing Booth is what I created this from. So they're the same color scheme, but of course my pink here came out lighter because I mixed in white. So I could actually adjust the Kissing Booth and make it a little bit white too. We could add some white to it. I'm gonna get a new piece of tin foil. I'm just gonna get rid of this big old fat mess. And we're gonna start again with a new piece of tin foil. So let me start with that. I'll be right there. Grabbing a piece of tin foil. I'm grabbing my Essential Stencil brushes. These are coming back in stock. We understand February 15th, I think it is. If you can hang tight for these, they are the best. They really are, to me, the best stencil brushes out there. I love their size. I love the look of them. The handle feels real comfortable. I love everything about them. So if you can wait for them, wait. If you can't, my sister couldn't wait. She had to go and get some, and I understand it. I'm also a fan of the makeup wedges. Those always work well, too. You guys, we're at $2.94. Can we hit 300? You think we could do it? Let's try to do it. I'm going to make a t-shirt with mucking it up, right? Linda, muck it up. Muck it up. Make it beautiful by mucking it up. Hey, life is a mucky mess, right? And yet life is beautiful. So we can make our artwork and our home decor mucky mess, and still that mucky mess is beautiful. Okay. There's some symbolism in that, actually. I like that you're going to make it a t-shirt. Show it to me. Post it. Send it to me in a message. Oh, I'm so glad Essential Stencil posted what the special is. If you used that link, you're going to get an extra 20% off. Norma's here from Tulsa. So happy to have you. Sonia says, it already looks great. I'm so glad. Thank you. Abby says she used the 20% off to get some Easter ones. Good for you. So each night, whatever the stencil is being used, you're going to get an extra 20% off. So it's exciting, and it really rewards you for coming back and watching over and over again. All right, let's put this down. I should probably tape down my stencils. I don't normally worry about that, but because everything's just going to fit in here just right. It really is just going to fit in here just right. So I think I need to tape these down so that I don't mess up the spacing later. We're using up like every inch of this board, and I am going to tape these down. So here's my tape. I'm just going to use painter's tape. I'm not going to tape the heart down. I'm actually going to take that off there once I've got these all taped down. But if I stick with this, format, these should all fit in on here perfectly, and my heart fitting in there just really beautifully right in the middle. I'm kind of happy with the way that, oh, I just mucked it up too. I'm kind of happy with the way this is going to turn out for sizing and spacing. So you can kind of see my rationale and my method for figuring out what's going to fit on here. Craft Deal sells, this is the biggest palette board circle that they sell, but they come in different sizes, big and little. They also have the heart, the whimsical heart, in all different sizes. Also, like right now, they do have some other shapes with palette board. Here's the pure heart in the palette board. And they have like the regular traditional shape heart, and they have words like love. They have so much stuff on their website, and their prices are really unbelievable. You can still get 10% off using the link that I shared, but if you want this particular board, you're going to ask for the 24-inch palette circle, and then this heart. Gosh, what size is this heart? Let me give you a size. I forget what I ordered, you guys. They go like, the size that they use is the largest length from point to point. So I'm gonna guess it's like here. I think it's the 12-inch heart. Okay, so you get the 12-inch heart and the 24-inch board. Okay, I have taped down all of my stencils. I'm gonna remove my heart so that I can, that sounded terrible. I'm gonna remove my heart. This is not surgery. I'm gonna just turn this around. So I'm gonna start at the top. I'm gonna get the grateful done. I think I'm going in with pink, you guys. Did anybody say, is anybody voting for Kissing Booth? Yeah, you get all those brushes, you guys. These are normally $15.87 on the website. They're out of stock right now, but they will be back in stock in a couple of weeks. And they're really awesome brushes. I really love them. They're really easy to hold, very smooth handle. I like a little nubby handle. Traditionally, I don't like really long handles. I like short handles. I just feel like they're easier to work with. All right, I'm gonna fold this in half because I don't think I need that much surface. I'm gonna use Kissing Booth. I'm gonna start with the Kissing Booth on its own. I'm getting paint boogers from my lid. Look at how messy my lid is, you guys. This is real life. This is real life for this brand ambassador. A messy, messy crafter. I'm gonna pick up a bunch of this Kissing Booth, way more than we need right now. I'm gonna put it here. I'm just debating whether or not I wanna change the color to more match the heart, or if I'm gonna leave it the really bright. Let's get one of these words done, and if I have to, I gotta offload. If I have to, I'll go back in and add some white to it to brighten it up a little. So you load up your brush. We're talking technique now. Load up your stencil brush or your makeup wedge. Load it up and then have a place, I call it the land of offloading. You're gonna offload so that you have now a very dry brush. And that's what I'm going in on my stencil with. You can go back and forth. You can go in circles if you want. You may have to really make sure you have a dry brush. You don't want to have any extra paint, because if you have extra paint, every time you hit the edge of that surface, there's a chance that paint will slip underneath there and it will cause bleed through. The other option is to stipple, which is our pounce, is just going up and down. With the brushes, I kind of go back and forth normally for the most part. I'm going to really quickly hinge this up and show you what this basically looks like right now. That's what the color scheme is going to look like on the pink. And I would probably need to go a little darker for that to show up on the gray, but that's going to go great on the pink and white. That color, that deep, like that richness of color, that deep pink is going to work great. So let's just go in. I'm just going to get started. I'm just going to add a little more color. So I'm adding, this was already dry because it's such a dry brush. When I stencil, let me zoom in for you guys. When I stencil, it's such a dry brush that pretty much right by the time I get to this point, I can come back in here and add another coat, a second coat of it to deepen the color. Okay, we have a little something interesting to consider here with this project. Hold on and I'll show you. I'm going back and forth. All right. Let me lift this up again and show you. Now, I call this the hinge method. I have 2 pieces of tape. I'm going to keep one solidly on here so that when I lift this, it doesn't mess up the positioning of the stencil. I can put it down confidently and keep stenciling. So what we have here is we have these lines, these palette board lines in between that you might get nervous about, that hitting that line and your stenciling getting goofed up or messed up on you. It's not going to get goofed up. You just go right over it. Oh my gosh, you guys, we hit 300. Winner, chicken dinner. You guys, we hit 300. Yay! Give me, like, what are they called? What are they called? Happy hands or whatever. That's so exciting. All right. You might worry about those little lines, but don't. You're just going to go right over them. They'll naturally fill in what they can. And when you're looking at the whole piece, from afar, you're not going to notice that. It's not even going to be a thought in most people's eye. What I will tell you though is if you have too much paint on your brush, look at all those hearts, you guys. You did it. You hit 300. If you have too much paint on your brush, yes, you will have a gob of paint sitting in that little line, and you don't want that. That's why it's so important to work with such a dry brush. It doesn't look like there's any paint on there. And if I just do this on my hand, it doesn't look like anything's coming off. But if I apply a little pressure, that stencil brush is holding on to all that paint in there. And it's moist enough that it's going to release with a little bit of pressure in those round circles or your straight lines. It's going to release paint. And that's going to get on your project. So even though it doesn't look like it's doing much, it's actually depositing the paint, and that's what you want. So again, some people like the circles. Some people go back and forth. If you're going to go back and forth, go in line with the letters. The natural, like as if you're writing the letters with your brush, okay? That way you're not hitting the edge and chancing bleed through, okay? This is going to be a test. Right here, the top of the T is hitting the black. So I'm going to pounce on there because I'm going to get really deep coverage for that pink. And then I'm going to make sure my T in this area is pretty deep color. I don't mind my letters and the scrollies and stuff having just like, maybe it's a little lighter over here and the pink is a little darker over there. I don't mind that at all. You just want to make sure that you're consistently doing it. It's just not in one spot, because then it would look like you messed up. But if you do it all over the place, where you're inconsistent and it's like the surface, it's inconsistent. There's markings of black and white in various places. Whoa, way too much paint. I forgot to offload. Do you see that? That was way too much paint. Like the siren should be going off. You are chancing bleed through with that much paint on your brush. It's way better to go back in twice and reload and go back in again and add another layer than to go in with that much paint right away. It takes a little patience. You're not going to achieve this all right away. You'll notice all of our lives, you guys, you notice they're not short. They're not brief. It does take a little bit of patience and sometimes going back for a second coat to get these stencils lines filled in so that your design is fully in place. So you just got to be patient. On the edges, let me get something to point. I'll use like the end of a paintbrush here. I'm gonna use the end of this paintbrush. On your edges, like where the letter ends, sometimes, like you can see it on the T there, sometimes it's a little more challenging to get in those little corners of the letters, the end. So I will pounce because I think I just can get good coverage and I don't have to worry about bleed through because I'm just going up and down instead of left and right or in circles. So that's what I do with the ends. If you're struggling to get those ends filled in, especially if they're smaller, like that T is pretty small right there, the edge of that T. So you notice I do everything. I go back and forth. I go in circles. I do whatever makes the most sense for that section of the stencil. And it changes as I go. Sometimes I go up and down because I want it to be a little darker in that section. So I want to like really saturate that section with a little extra. I'll use the stippling. Here I got another line. I'm going right over the line. I don't have too much paint on my brush, so I don't have to worry about it like sitting and dripping into that palette board line. See, I have the G. It's where like kind of where the bridge is, and the ends of the G. I want to make sure that they really get filled in well. Okay, I'm going to lift this up so you guys can start to see. It's a grainy coverage. It's not complete coverage. You're going to see a little bit of the white wood showing through. You see, some places it's grainier than others, but you can read it really well. It's going to be perfect because it's going to match the pink. You know, I like to pick 4 or 5 colors and just stick with them for the whole project, even if I'm blending and mixing colors, but they're the same. They're the same colors that I'm mixing and blending together. My discount code is the Comfy Nest. If you just go to essentialstencil.com, you can use my discount code, the Comfy Nest. All is one word, no caps, no spaces. you'll get 10% off. Or Claudia says, hello from chilly Minnesota. No kidding, it is cold. Or you can just use the link that I shared and that will automatically apply that code. Here I'm feeling the circles. Feeling like the circles are appropriate. I am going to give away 3 sets of stencils to some of you lovely people who are here with me. So thank you for joining in. Thank you for watching my demo. I appreciate your company. I would also appreciate it. I am so honored when you guys go over and visit the Comfy Nest page and like and follow my page. Whoa, still way too much. I had way too much paint on here. It's just way too much. I need to, like, as my son would say, calm down, Mom. Stop freaking out, he tells me. That's like his funny thing that he says to us all the time. Stop freaking out. Stop freaking out, paint. You do not need to be mucking up my paint job here. All right, the edge of the L. I better move the camera and not the whole thing because I want you to see this. The edge of the L is like landing on the black like 1/4 of an inch. I bet you're not even going to notice it. You may not be able to see the pink paint very well because it's on the black. You might not, but I'm going to make this top of the L pretty dark, even if the bottom isn't fully, like really dark. The bottom might be less dark. It might be less filled in, but I made this top really dark. Here, I'm feeling like this is really bright right here. I don't want it that bright. I want this part of the F to be a little darker. So coming in with a second coat. I'm just coming in. I have paint on my brush already. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to fill in a little bit more of that F because I feel like that was very faint. So before I pull it up for the last time, I do look at all of the letters. The G here, the G over here needs a little more. Can you guys see that? There we go. Oh, wrong way. I went the wrong way. I'm trying to zoom in so you can see, but be high enough. Oh, let me see. I want to zoom back out. Whoop, sorry guys. Camera trouble. There, zoom. I'm trying to zoom close enough so that you can see what I'm doing, but far away enough because it's such a big project that you can see the whole project. I'm sorry about that. All right, I'm going to hinge this up and we're going to take a peek at it. And I'm going to give you a little trick about those palette board lines here. Let's take a look at them and see if they need to be tricked at all. All right, what do you think? Can you see it? Does it show well to you? Your first look at it, does it show well to you? You can see the pink. I'm actually quite surprised. I'll hold this up closer when it's all done. You can see the top, the pink. You can see the T here. How did I get pink paint over here? Was it like on my hand or what? I got the bright pink, the kissing booth, over here on the black. Maybe it's because it was on my hand. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it though. It's okay. I'm blending it right in. I'll show you that later. I feel like you can see it really well. The bottom of the G looks a little faint to me. So I'm going to hinge this back down and I am going to add just a little bit more pink in here just to deepen that. And I think you'll notice, like, you are not noticing that the bottom of the F lands on one of those lines. The G is cut by one of those lines. The T is cut and the top of the L is cut by one of those lines, but you don't even notice it. You just read grateful. That's what your eye is going to see. And I promise you, you guys, when we're doing our artwork, when we're stenciling, we're more critical of our projects than we need to be because we're looking at it as the crafter, as the designer, as the painter. When we look at it, I was really hoping to fit it all on. Am I frozen, you guys? Or for any of you, am I frozen? I'm going to go out. I'm frozen on mine. Oh, there I am. Back at it. I love when you say holy buckets. I say it all the time. That's funny. I am not from North Dakota, but I do say that all the time. Yeah, Maria, boys don't care. They don't care what's on the wall. They wouldn't even care if there was nothing on the wall. Christy says, hello. Chris here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Just got back home so I could watch. Yay, so glad. Tracy, thank you for sharing. Thank you. Oh, you guys, some people were voting for black letters. I went with pink. because I want in my home, I want really bright pops of color. I have a lot of black, I have a lot of white and gray. And yes, Christine's right. You could put part of your heart off the edge of the board. That's just personal preference, totally. Yes, Cheryl, the heart came from craft deals as well as the board. Both the heart and the board came from craft deals. All right, let's move down and work on thankful. This is going to be a little challenging to me because I'm short. I'm 5'4", and I'm on one of those tall, like, this is actually, it's my craft table, but it's a tall dining room table, the one, you know, the kind that you sit on stools to eat. So it's, I never sit when I craft, I'm always standing. But when I have to reach over at all, like into this project, it is a challenge for me if it's not right underneath me because I'm kind of short. All right, this is going to be interesting because most of thankful is on the gray. So let's see how much of this we can get to show up. We're probably going to have to do, I'm just anticipating I have to do 2 layers of paint here to make it really show. Okay, so let's just see how this turns out. It showed up fine on the black, this bright kissing booth. That's the one thing about Debbie's DIY paint. It really does have beautiful, deep, rich pigmentation to the paint. And you guys, you do always ask me, you're asking all the time, what paint did you use? What paint color? What's the name of the paint? You know, and I'll just say, deep pink. I don't know. Like, yes, you could go out and get Debbie's DIY kissing booth. That's the name of it. You could go out and get that. But you don't have to. You can use Waverly or Rust-Oleum or whatever paint you like. You can go out and use whatever paint you like. Just get the colors that you like. If you want this kind of scheme with the grays and the pinks and the white, go get 2 different grays or like a light gray, medium gray, and or a medium gray and a black. Get a white, get a soft pink, and a deep pink. That's what you would need. Like if you wanted to have this same, I had a lot of paint right there. There might be a bleed through issue. We'll see. I just had too much paint on my brush. I know because I see glistening wetness. If you can see glistening wetness on your surface or on your project, you have too much paint. It should really be a dry brush, literally a dry brush. Literally. But I see glistening wetness right there on the bottom of the F. So we'll see if I have some bleed through. Even brand ambassadors get bleed through. We're human too. I heard that song by Billy Joel today, and I thought, I haven't heard this song for a long time. You know that song about you're only human, you're bound to make mistakes. Love that song, and I thought, really, we should all listen to that song every day. Seriously, like don't. And my poor boys, especially at school, when they don't do well and they get so worked up about their grades or about their sports, and I say, hey. Nobody's perfect. You're bound to have bad days. So I got to play that Billy Joel song for them. I'm a huge fan of Billy Joel, you guys. I just learned recently, we were watching a TV program on him. He is still playing 1 concert a month in New York City. Did you know that? Did you? I think, what's it called? Madison Square Garden? That's where he plays once a month. I had no idea. I did not know that. I was like, what? I saw him in concert in Boston. I grew up in Boston. 1989, I was a senior in high school. My brother took me to see him and he was awesome. I would love to go back and see him again. And I feel like hey you guys, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm raising my kids right because they know Billy Joel. They know kind of like the classic rock. They know Queen, they know Led Zeppelin, they know Billy Joel, they know Carole King, they know it all. They know it all, which is really great. They're both a couple of little musicians. One plays the piano, one plays the guitar. One plays the trumpet and band, the other one plays saxophone. I got 2 boys, they each play 2 instruments. I'm just so overjoyed. I never learned an instrument. I never learned how to read music as a kid. So I'm just so super joyed that they get to do that. All right, so most of this is in black, but bottom of these 2 letters are gonna be on the white plank. Interesting, right? So it's just the way they're positioned here on the board. And I had to position them all just right to get them on with the heart. So we'll see how it turns out. Almost done with this guy. So this white plank, the palette line, the palette board line that goes through, is basically white on the inside. So you'll see the bottom of this pink H has like a white line going through it. You'll see it because I pointed it out to you. If I hadn't pointed it out to you as a viewer, you probably wouldn't even think of that or notice that. Okay, I need more paint. I'm having to push way too hard. I'm gonna go into my paint bucket and get a little more, but I have to offload, offload, offload. Just, that's what our t-shirts say. Offload, 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 offload. You can't say it enough. If you're having bleed through issues, maybe try a different paintbrush. Or if you're using the makeup wedges, try a brush. There's no right or wrong applicator. It's whatever one works for you as the artist, as the stenciler. Okay, I'm gonna hinge this one up. I've got the corner of this bottom one sitting on top of it. So I'm gonna pick this up first, and then I'm gonna hinge the bottom of this one up. I'm gonna leave this one in place so that it's positioned well and it's gonna hold its spot. And then let's take a look. Does it show up well? Can you guys read it well enough? What do you think? Give me some thumbs up. I'm really struggling to see comments tonight. So you give me some thumbs up and some likes if you think it shows up well enough, or do you think I need to do something to it? I can always reposition this later, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave this one on here. Thank you for all those hearts. I do see your hearts and your likes. Thank you. That's like just the input I need. That's the feedback I need. It helps me. I can't even tell you. As a person doing live videos, this interaction that you guys give me is so valuable. It is so helpful. So all those hearts, all those likes, all those thumbs up, thank you. Super helpful to me. And I know all the brand ambassadors would say the same, because it's not like I'm just talking to a camera in a room all by myself. I'm actually talking to you and you're talking back to me. With all those hearts and all those thumbs up, I'm gonna leave that stencil on there while I do the last word, which is blessed. Then I'll pull the blessed up, I'll hinge up the thankful, and we'll make a decision together whether or not I need to do anything to the thankful to make it show up more. That's my plan. Because I could leave the grateful pink and the blessed pink. The thankful, the middle word is pink, but I could add something if I had to it to make it show up a little more. Kim saw 298. Yeah, we're down to about 260, but we did have 300 people almost on here. Peggy says, I'm glad the brushes are going to be back soon. I've been holding off on ordering more stencils. Oh my gosh, don't wait. They're going to come in February 15th. If you order $45 or more, you get free shipping. So you don't have to worry about the shipping. Yeah, so Brittany just said, kissing booth with a black shadow. So that's what I was thinking, maybe. And I actually like, rather than shadowing, I like to outline my letters. So let's get to the blessed, and then we'll see how this is all going to work out. This is such a big board. I absolutely have to turn this around or I'm not going to be able to reach that. So I'm going to turn the whole board around so I can reach. I just ordered a new stand for my camera because I think it's just going to work better for the way I do my videos. And I'm eagerly waiting for that to come in. I'm trying to zoom. I'm trying to zoom back out a little bit. And of course, my phone isn't letting me. So I guess we'll just leave it the way it is. We will just leave it. You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get your comments back. Oh, Facebook, why? Why do you play with me that way? Why do you mess me up? All right, here we go. I need my kissing booth. Come on, kissing booth. We need you back. I'm actually going to put most of my paint away from me, and then this land of offload closer to me. I call it the land of offload. That's this little spot right there. All right. There, can you guys see now? There we go. All right, now you can see it. Here's my paint. Here's the last word that I need to do. I'll start in with the D first. Now this is on bright white and pink, so that light pink, so this should show up really easily. These letters are really fat and chunky. They're really wide compared to the other fonts. So I start in the middle that way. If I do have too much paint, the middle's going to be nice and dark, and then I can work a little harder on filling in the edges. But you'll be nice and safe if you start in your middle away from your edges when you first go in with your paintbrush. You know, right after coming from over here, from adding more paint, start in the middle where it's most wide. That's a good test for how much paint is on your paintbrush. And see, I just have to go over it over and over again. And it'll get deep pink. It'll get there with a really dry brush. You just keep going over it over again. Or go over it with another second coat. You can go back on it and do a second coat. It's amazing that this dry of a brush, that dry brush, can put that much paint on there. Isn't it crazy? Like, look, watch. It's amazing. It's because the brush is holding all of that paint in those bristles. You can't really see it, but it's working for you. Look at that. Crazy. This is a good testament to how well these brushes do at holding the paint. If you feel like you're working too hard, which I feel like I'm applying more and more pressure, go back in and get a little more paint, and then you don't have to apply so much pressure. And that will be important. That is important to those of you that do have, like if you have arthritis or mobility issues with your hands, if you have sore joints or something, then that will matter. You can still get a wetter brush, but it's still dry, but a little bit more paint on there to work with. Okay, look at the S is really big. It's really big. Lots of paint here that we're going to use, as opposed to like the T in Grateful was really much skinnier, that part of the T. This little section on my S, there's a little section right here being held by a bridge. I must have bent it at some point. So it's up off of, you can't see it, but it's up off of my board just a tish. So I'm going to use my left finger to hold that down while I paint around it. And yes, my left finger is going to get full of paint. Look at it, already is. It's full of gray paint. Now it's going to get full of pink paint. And that's just the way it's going to be. I'm holding it down because I must have bent it a little when I was washing it. And so I have to hold it down with my finger. This is how you get around that problem. Don't throw your stencil out. If you bent your Mylar just a little bit while you're washing it, don't throw it out. You can use your finger to hold it down while you're working. Okay, don't get too worked up over that. Again, we all make mistakes. I'm a brand ambassador. I bent my ass at some point. I don't know. I must have been cleaning it too vigorously or something. Too vicious, like assertively is the word I'm looking for. Assertive. Aggressively. This one's not bent. It's sitting nice and flat on the board. This one, a little bent. All right. I need more paint. These letters are really chunky. I love them. Oh, one bristle. Lost one bristle. Can't see comments, you guys. Let me see if I can get them back. All right, you guys, I am pulling for 3 winners. So if you're here, stay here. Make sure you let us know you're here. Say hello. I'm going to need to get the comments back at some point so that I can pull some names. But I'll worry about that here in a minute. All right, I got the B and the L. This word, you guys, this word is a little more work. You're going to go through a little more paint on the blessed because it's just bigger. There ain't no way around that, people. It's just bigger. It's taking a little more paint, a little more rubbing action here. You could go to a bigger brush. I just tend to like to have one brush dirty. So if I don't have to dirty another brush, I'm all for it. I went in really strong with a lot of paint right there, so I don't know what's going to happen right on that little section of the B. I don't have to have perfect coverage, so I'm going to remind myself, I don't need perfect coverage. I just need the letters to show. I need the letters to be obviously anchored on this board and showing on this board so that everybody knows what it says. All right, let me pull this up and see what it looks like. We're going to hinge this one up, the Blessed. I got to move the heart for a minute. We're going to hinge up the Blessed, and oh boy, because I have the Thankful on top of it. First I have to hinge up the Thankful, And then I'll hinge up the Blessed from this side so that I can keep it anchored. See, it shows up perfectly, you guys. Perfectly. I don't have to worry. This part of the B is lighter than any other part. This part of the L is lighter, but I'm going to leave it that way. This is much darker. It's okay. It's called variance. It's called variety. It gives you visual interest. I can see the scratchiness of this black dry brushing through the B, and I like it. I'm going to pull this one up. I'm done with the Blessed. Let's look at the Thankful and see if it's dark enough on the gray. I think it is, you guys. Here, let me put this down a little bit more. I think it's dark enough. I think we can see it. It definitely looks different than the ones that are on the white and the pink, but I do think it's dark enough. All right, I'm going to hinge this up. I could really always place it back down. I have enough of that word there that I could place it back down. Let me see if I can hold this whole thing up so you can see, because I'm pretty much done. I could add some white border to the word Thankful, but let me hold it up and you guys give me your opinion. First of all, though, where did my comments go? Oh, phew, there they are. So Brittany said do Kissing Booth with a black shadow. I'm thinking white shadow on the gray part, but I could outline the whole thing in black. Jennifer, thank you. She says, I love the colors you picked. Thank you. Hey, Peggy in Texas, and Marilyn from Utah, and Tammy from the frozen tundra of Wisconsin. I love your comments, you guys. You're awesome. I love them. All right, I got to scroll way down. I'm so behind on comments. How many people do we have on now? And how many shares have we had? If you've shared, let us know that. Comment so we know, and we can give you a big shout out, a big thank you. I think it looks great now that it's all finished. Oh, thanks, Trish. All right, Lorraine says it looks awesome. Needed white and then the Kissing Booth. All right, let's look at this. I'm going to hold it kind of up and further away from the thing, from the camera. Can you see all three? Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. Can you see the Thankful well enough? You tell me. Can you see that well enough? Now look. Looky, look. That's what it's going to look like. And you know what? Thank you for all those hearts, you guys. You know what I'm thinking? Would it be pretty with a little white on that word Thankful? With just a little bit of white? Let me see. I think I bought a white marker. I think I bought a white paint marker in my paint bucket, my marker bucket. I think this is a white paint marker. Maybe I could just highlight. Oh, brush pen. Nope, this one's black. Hold on, let me, oh, look what I just did. The top of my brush pen, my black brush pen, just went in the top of my Kissing Booth. I'm a messy crafter. I'm so messy, you guys. First of all, where's my shop towel? First of all, I'm a klutz. Such a klutz. Now I'm getting pink on me as I'm trying to clean this up. It's okay. It's okay to laugh at me. Now I'll have a coughing fit. Okay, I'm hopefully getting over this horrible cough. Okay, I cleaned it all up. I am a messy crafter. When I tell you it's okay to make mistakes, yeah, it's because I know, because I make so many. Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead and laugh. Have a good chuckle at my expense. I laugh too. I laugh at me too. I am pretty darn sure I bought a white pen. Oh wow, that one's black. That one better come out of there. That one's not looking too hot. This one, is this one white? Deco, no, that's an adhesive pen. You guys, I was standing in the aisle at Hobby Lobby for I don't know how long looking for a white pen, marker, paint marker, and where is it, for goodness sake? I don't know. Okay, we're going to have to do it the hard way. We're going to have to do it the hard way. I'm going to look one more time. Hang tight, people. Someone says needed white and Kissing Booth. Maybe put some light pink streaks through the Thankful like you did with the black and the heart. Nicole, I thought of that too. That's another great idea, is to put the whole stencil back down and dry brush some white over it, right? Is that what you're saying? I was thinking that's a good idea too. See, these pens I heard were really great. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I made my son wait for me while I looked and looked and looked and looked. And I was looking for white, but I don't think they had the size I wanted, so I just didn't get it. I think I just didn't get it, darn it. So what I was thinking is I could take my detail brush. Let me see, hold on, because I would do this in a paint glass. This tiny little detail brush with some white paint. And I could create some highlights that way. Or do you think I should brush on some white? What do you think? What do you think? Someone suggested, Luella says, someone suggested using different colors, which I think would have been good too. Yeah, you could have done each letter, like grateful in black, thankful in white, and blessed in pink. You could, yeah, whatever you want. That's the beauty of stenciling. You're making your home decor exactly the way you want it with exactly the colors you want. Yes, Sue says, do you think thankful needs something? Yes, I do. Thank you for sharing, Sherry, and for Sandy doing that. And Kim, thank you guys. Stephanie, thank you. All right, we're going to add some white to thankful. So let's get this down and do it because I want to like complete the project. I won't have this glued down, but I'm going to complete it. I had actually intended to add some white to the heart as well with my detail pen. Since I can't find my detail pen, I'm going to use, you can use a detail brush, you know, these really skinny, I think they're zeros. This one's a 0. And I do like this one because it has a nice long bristle and it has more bristles than this one. So I'm going to go with that, and I need to get my white. Where did my white paint go? Here it is. I put my painter's tape on it. So I'm going to cover up the pink. I don't need it anymore, and I don't want to drop anything else in it. So I'm going to cover up the pink, put it aside. My black paintbrush can get put aside, but I'm going to open this white, and we're going to use it to try to highlight. So what I was thinking is I could go in and just either on the left or the right add some lines here. So if I went like this, do you think that would be enough if I just went in? Oh, can you guys even see that? If I went in and just did that, or do you think it would be better to put this whole thing down? I think it'll show up better actually. If I put the whole thing down, I'm gonna wipe up that white that I just put on there. I'm just dabbing it so that it's not so prominent. I'm gonna put the whole thing down, and let's put some white over the top of this, not with a detail brush, but with a regular stencil brush. We're gonna mix in some white so that it shows up a little better. And yeah, I'm pretty confident I can get this on there just right. The paint is dry now, so I don't have to worry about that. But now what I wanna do, kind of like I did with this white here with the black dry brushed on the top, I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna dry brush some of this white on the top. So I'm gonna take a square, this is an old brush, a square brush, it's little. I'm gonna go into the cap because I don't need a lot. So I'm gonna go into the cap and grab a little bit of this paint, and then I'm gonna offload most of it. My tin foil's over there. I'm gonna offload most of it here on this shop towel, and then I'm going to use this to dry brush the pink over the white, so it's going to be brighter. It's going to show up better. And thankfully, the letters to thankful, thankfully, that's ironic, isn't it? The letters to thankful are wide enough that you're actually, it's going to make a difference. You're going to see, now watch my U, how I'm going to add this white. I'm going to dry brush some white on, and it'll be thicker in some areas, and it's going to be more faint in others, just like I did over all these other sections. It'll actually coordinate pretty nicely. But the idea is to make it pop a little more. So let me lift this up now that I've got 2 letters done. Let's lift it up and see if it makes a big enough difference. What do you think? It does show up better. Look, you can see those letters much better than you can see the F. So yeah, I'm on the right track here. I may actually add even a little more paint. But let's get some of this done. It has the base of the hot pink, and then it's going to have this dry brushing of white. I'm just going back into where I offloaded and picking up some more because I don't need a ton of paint. And it doesn't have to be perfectly applied everywhere. We're just looking for highlights here. Whoa, that was really bright. Oh, tone it down. Calm down there now, paintbrush. All right, calm down. You didn't need to give me so much all at once. Coming on a little strong there, honey. I do talk to my paintbrush. I talk to my projects. Am I the only one who talks to their projects and their paintbrush? I hope not, because then I might get a little complex. All right, that is gonna make a huge difference. I actually, that coming on a little strong, honey, that like bright spot right there, I actually kind of like that really bright spot. So let's do that on the end. That was a mistake that I'm gonna actually incorporate in with the rest of them because it's a little brighter. It's gonna help this show up so much better. And it's gonna give it some visual interest, I think, too. All right, you see what I'm doing? I'm just, with a very dry brush, adding a coat of white over the pink. I think we made a good decision together, folks. Thank you for helping me. I know so many, I love to hear what you guys say. I always ask you, what do you think I should do? And then sometimes you guys, you really help me out, and you did tonight, so thank you for that. We made a good decision. I'm going into my little bitty paint, and I am dry brushing it off. Even on my blue shop towel, you can do that. I want more for the tea. This tea is a little more prominent. It's thicker, the base of the tea, so I'm gonna go in and really make that kind of bright white. Oh boy, I hope with the two other ones being pink that this is gonna be okay. So the K has a bright spot, the H and the T have a bright spot. I want to add a couple more of those really bright, like headlight kind of brightness spots. So I'm gonna go in on these other letters that I initially did and add a little more white just to like let the white scream out at us. Yep, we're here for the party. Let the party start. White Swan is in the house. Oh, that one was really bright. All right, the A over here, my A. I need a little more white. This A over here, I'm gonna add a little more. We're gonna go really bright, scratchy white color. All right, let's see. Let us see. I'll put that paintbrush aside for a second. I'm gonna hinge this up. Oh my gosh, it's like the big reveal. I hope this worked out the way we thought. Oh yeah, I like it. I actually, can you guys see that? What do you think? Should I add even a little more? I think I should add a little more here and to the end. So you see how when I hinge it, I have that blue tape, painter's tape there. It keeps it in perfect positioning. I don't even have to worry about it being in the wrong spot. I'm gonna add a little to the end, a little more. And what was the other letter I said? The bottom of the F? What was it? I can't even remember, you guys. To the L, bottom of the A. I like it. I mean, that little mistake that was like, hey, calm down, white. It actually, I like it better, brighter, like that. I have to get the end of the T over here. It's just like on its own in the corner here. All right, could that be it now? I wish I could find that white marker. Maybe I never bought it. I have to get myself a white paint marker. There. Likey or no likey? Show me thumbs up or hearts because I don't see any comments. Let's see, I gotta scroll. Maybe I can see comments. Hold on. You guys have been commenting so much, you guys. I can't even get to the, hold on. All right, I'm struggling because the camera's down. Oh, there's some hearts. There's some thumbs up. You like it better? Tracy says, I talk to myself all the time. And my husband says, what? And I said, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my crafts. Oh my gosh, Tracy, that is fantastic. Oh, Janet says the white looks wonderful. Debbie says she loves the colors. Annetta says, I really love this. Thank you. Looking good with the white. I do like it, Marcia says. Or Marcia. Is it Marcia or Marcia? Oh, Bill says it looks good to me. All right, I'm putting the stencil aside. Let me hold this up again. Lovely. Thank you, Karen. Jerry says she loves it. I'm so glad. All right, I'm going to hold it up again, and I think I'm going to add some white distressing to the heart as well. But periodically, as I'm crafting, I stop looking at the detail like I was just now at the Thankful, and I hold up my board, or I pull my face back and pull my face aside so I can look at my project in its entirety. Let me put these pens away so they get out of the way. I need a little more table space. All right, here we go. Likey or no likey? The heart's not perfectly positioned yet, but I'm going to add some brightness to that heart. That heart needs some white. It needs some white, so we're gonna add some white to it. I'll show you how. I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Thank you, Lisa. She says, good job. And Tammy says, whimsical. I love whimsy, you guys. I love whimsy. I love it. I will, I'm gonna show you how I glue this down, but then once it's permanently positioned and glued down, I'll take some pictures, and I know Essential Stencil does like to share those with folks. I'm gonna take the same paintbrush that I was using to add the white to the letters, and I'm gonna add some white to the heart. So let me put the heart somewhere where you can really see it. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the black, but now I'm gonna do it with the white. So I took some white and I'm offloading it on my, you can't see it, it's off to the side here, on my shop rag. And I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna add some white distressing too. Okay, it's gonna be whimsical, it's not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna highlight the edges with a little bit of white. This is going to coordinate. All of the techniques are coordinated. They're on the base board, the palette, they're on the letters, and then on the heart, they're all gonna have like a similar look to them with this, like, I don't know, it's like a, I like to call it mucking it up. I'm mucking up my paint job and making it a little more visually interesting. You see, it's kind of like a dry brush. You see what I'm doing? So I'm leaving the middle, the pink, kind of intact, but I'm adding all of this white and black just to add some visual stimulation. So I guess visual interest. I'm gonna come down in the heart. I'm gonna come down a little bit into the heart with some white further than the black because I like the brightness of the white color. So in these rounds, I already did it here a little bit. I'm gonna come down with a little more of this white. My paint is drying up on me and it's like flaking actually. But you see what I did there? And it's not perfect. There's nothing perfect about it. It's not meant to be perfect. It's meant, that word that somebody used, whimsy, it's whimsy. It's whimsical, it's pretty, it's interesting to look at. That's what we're going for. I need a little more. I'm gonna put a little more on the bottom too. Here on the inside a little bit. See that? Enough? Is that enough? So you can definitely see the black, you can definitely see the white. It mirrors and it mimics all the other stuff that's going on here and adds some visual interest. If I could, right? Joyce Ann, she says, perfectly imperfect, Nicole. Yes, that's my motto. Let's be perfectly imperfect. Oh, Sue says she can hear me, but she can't see me. Go out of the video and come back in. Handmade is hearts. Angela says she loves that. Perfectly imperfect. Somebody was asking who I am or something because Deb answered the Comfy Nest. That's the code. If you go to essentialstencil.com and you shop tonight, if you use the coupon code The Comfy Nest, you're gonna get 10% off everything and an extra 20% off of the Grateful, Thankful, Blessed set that I used tonight. Or you could just use the link that I shared. That is the link to my landing page. You'll see all my favorite stencils on there. You'll see my little bio. There'll be links to my business page here on Facebook, The Comfy Nest with Grace Kurtz, and it will lead you to getting your coupons for both the Stencil of the Month Club and any orders that you're gonna make tonight. But the extra stacked 20% off on the Grateful, Thankful, Blessed is only until midnight tonight. So if you wanna take advantage of that and get this set for 30% off, go on there, use my link or my code, and do it tonight. So this is what it's gonna look like. I'm loving it. I am loving, loving, loving it. I love all the colors. I'm just gonna show you really quickly how I'm gonna glue this down, and then I'm gonna pull 3 names. Here's what I do. I take my glue, I open it up. I don't use an applicator. I just literally drag. I'm not gonna literally do it right now, but I drag this all over the heart, scraping it on with the tip. That's all I do. I don't use a brush or anything. I don't use my finger. And then I'll flip it and place it where I want it. And then I put something really heavy on the top of it and I let it sit overnight, making sure that all of the pieces of the heart are sitting on the surface so that they're glued together. That's all I do. I'm going to do that tonight, and then I'll take some pictures to share with Essential Stencil. They do like to share those with the audience on the Essential Stencil page, and they email them to some folks sometimes with this video so that people can see the video instruction on how to do it. So I'll have to top coat it and glue it. It'll be all ready to go. It'll be all ready to go. I'm going to pick some winners. I'm going to pick some winners. Who wants to win? Who wants to win? I'm just wondering who wants to win a set. Where did I get my board? Sherry, I got my board from craftdeals.com. You can use my code to get your discount over there. And I put that link in the description of this video. So as soon as this live feed is over and I hit the share button, you'll see that link and you can go ahead and order it. I also got the heart there. So you just have to look for those two things. Yeah, Craft Deals is the way to go. They are really awesome to work with. They have great prices, great shipping price. Excuse me. All right, let's pick some names. I gotta get my notebook out because I gotta write the names down. I'm gonna pick 3 winners. The 3 winners, I'm gonna send your names to Essential Stencil. The 3 winners must email Essential Stencil at support@essentialstencil.com with your email address and your mailing address, and they will mail you a gift, a set of stencils. So let me go. I'm gonna pick from all of the, gonna write the date down. I gotta say, my winners for January 17th, I'll email them over to them. I'm gonna pick 3 names from all these comments. Sandy says, me, I would love to win. Terry says, I do, I wanna win. Okay, first winner is Tammy Brockman. Oh, Tammy, the comment, thank you, I'm gonna give you a heart. The comment that won you a set of stencils is, will follow you. So fun, I'm so glad. Go to the Comfy Nest with Grace Kurtz here on Facebook and follow and like my page. I'm so honored, Tammy, that you'll do that. That is the comment that just won you a set of stencils. So make sure you email the company so they can get them to you. The next winner is Jerry. Is it Naquin? N-A-Q, let me write it down, N-A-Q-U-I-N. Naquin? Jerry, the comment that won you, love, love, love. You just want a set of stencils. I'm going way back. Janet Radley. Janet, the comment that won you a stencil tonight is OMG. She said, OM gosh, I love it. OM gosh, I love it. Thank you. I'm glad you love it. I love being here with you guys. I love your company. I love your input on these projects that we do. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, if you order by midnight tonight, you will get an extra 20% off, so you'll get 30% off this set, okay? The set is normally $17.98. It's on sale now for $16.97. If you order it by midnight, you're gonna get an extra 30% off. Plus, anything else you order using my link, you will get 10% off your whole order. So thank you. I'm so honored to have your company. Many blessings to you for a good night of sleep, that you're all healthy and well. Let's pray for Australia with all the fires that are going on there. Let's pray for anybody else who have major hardships in the world. Our lives, when I think I've had this awful cold for a month, but seriously, in the scheme of things, compared to some things going on in the world, I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful, I'm very thankful, and I'm very blessed, even with my awful cold. So let's pray for those who are just struggling. Well, we're going to go to sleep tonight. Let's pray for them. You guys, I hope you stay healthy and well, and I'll see you next time. Take care.